Urakoze cyane reka maze nunganire mugenzi wanjye wa gato akanavuze ngo music hano nishobora gukora amafaranga bihagije kuba bitarakorwa suko bidashobora kuba niba hari abatarabikora ntabwo bivuze ko bidashobora kuba ibyo bintu birashoboka cyane kandi nibyo bigiye kuba tu nanjye hindutse noneho ikindi wari wamfashije indege metoto manichi muvanga indege ni umushyitsi wanjye n'umunsi ni umushyitsi wanjye ntabwo ni umushyitsi wanjye nk'uko tuba turi kumwe n'abandi bose ari abashuti
Murakoze rero reka bashimire mwese
One of our people. Let me start by thank you all guys ndabashimira kubwo kuza gushyigikira kino gikorwa cya Love Drum Party kizaba ku munsi wo kwa gatandatu tariki 19 n'ejo. Ndabashimira mwakoze kwitabira. Icyo bavuga cyo kuri party ejo izaba ari pull up. Icyambere shout out kuri Evolve Music, shout out kuri Nori Entertainment, shout out kuri Trumpish Music, shout out kuri TV10, KT Radio, n'izindi logo zose ndi kubona inyuma yanjye ziri inyuma y'ibikorwa. Gusa nanone shout out to the police iri kurishyigikira kugira ngo umunsi w'ejo bizagende neza. God bless you guys. Ikintu navuga ejo ni shutdown, itoto shutdown. Shout out kuri YC, shout out kuri team yiwe inyuma yiwe bazanye bari gufashanya mu rugendo bafitanye mu Rwanda. Shout out ku muntu wese uri inyuma y'ibi bintu. Ntabwo byari bisanzwe kubona umuhanzi mu Rwanda akora event ukabona umuhanzi abahanzi babiri cyase gig gusa abantu murateguye event mugize abantu bashyigikira bingana gutya. Ntabwo bisanzwe bibaho, dusanzwe tuzi ko event ari zaba EAP n'abandi baji bose nibo bakora ama event gusa. Rero iyo tubone nkatwe tubashije kugira idea nk'ingi igitekerezo nk'iki kikagira abagishyigikira bangana gutya bitwereka yuko ejo bizaba ari byiza kurusha uyu munsi. It's such a pleasure kuri twebwe kandi we appreciate the love. Ikintu navuga cyo ejo ni shutdown wese yavura pinze. Dufite n'abandi bahanzi nuko batari ahangaha harimo Kivumbi King, Kenny K-Shot, Logan Joe, dufitemo abantu batari ahangaha harimo Bushali, harimo BTHREY, Kenya Trap yose yapura pinze big time, harimo France, umukobwa n'abakobwa nabo twari basigaye inyuma. Ikindi nuko mwese muratumiwe, everybody is invited, everybody pull up, don't you miss this one guys. God bless.
Reka ntangire mbashimira icyo kintu cyane mukanya n'undi muratekereza icyo ndi buvuge hita ntibuka turi muri interview ushize muri press conference uyu muvandimwe yaratugaye ariko ntabwo bikaba bwinshi ikintu bumenya cyakiriye no kugaya ni byiza byatumye nyuma yaho nitekerezaho ndavuga ati rwose ko wamugari tubona opportunity zo kuririmbana n'abandi bahanzi dushobora kubona opportunity zo kubazana kandi tugakora sibyo. Uyu muvandimwe rero uyu nguyu mubona yaje kudushyigikira kuko nicyo twe turi kubona. It's not only business niki ariko uyu muvandimwe yaje kudushyigikira. Ikintu cya mbere ndabashimiye mwebwe yuko namwe mwaje kudushyigikira. So ikindi kintu nshimira ndashimira management yanjye ariyo Hip-Hop Music kuko yemeye ko ino deal tuyikora kubwo kugira ngo twese tuvuze hamwe dukora ikintu bita industry night. So somehow ibintu biri unusual yuko mubona abantu biteguye party nk'iyi ngiyi bagafurubinga umuntu akaza bagakora ikintu cyiza. So nimba mugiye kudushyigikira ndabashyigikira nanjye kandi n'ukuri twishimiye kuba muri hano. So ibindi numva agashaka kuba iki kintu kiri ku mutima. So merci kuri muntu wese waje ahangaha, kuri buri muntu wese bagize uruhare. Aba bose yabavuze ishikeme ni byiza ariko nanone iki kintu cyo gushyira hamwe ndabashimiye ko mubishyigikiye.
Murakoze cyane. So njyewe ikintu nashimira cya mbere ni kubera ko ndi hano n'ubundi ino event ntabwo nari nzi ko nshobora kuzaperforma biranshimishije cyane kubona bano batipe bari kuzamura music ukabona abahanzi nabo batangiye gukora event imeze gutya nk'ukuntu Kevin yabivuze kera ntabwo ari twe twakoraga event so birashimishije cyane njye nkabashimira abanyamakuru bari hano nkabashimira nk'abakoze mu hano abajournaliste abafashije ibintu byose biri kuba ariko ikintu nababwira ibintu biri kujya imbere kandi bimeze neza cyane arakoze cyane
murakoze ngira ngo kuri hano bari kubona no kuri mugabo nguyu ni umuyobozi wa this is the press conference of course and we welcome you. We want to hear from you before we start with the questions.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, it's my pleasure to be here in Rwanda for the first time. And, you know, I know that this trip is something I should have made a very, very long time ago, but, you know, I say better late than never. And, you know, big shout out to Kevin, big shout out to Gabiro, shout out to, you know, everyone that's been hosting me so far. You know, it's been chilled. I've been enjoying my time here. And, you know, I just want to thank you guys as well, the press, for making our time to come out here and speak to us. And, you know, I'm really, really, really looking forward to, you know, tomorrow, looking forward to me and my fans out here in Rwanda, and ultimately just, you know, like partying and having a good time with you guys. So, you know, thank you for having me. And yeah, you know, it's gonna be lit tomorrow, like turn up or turn left, like I've been saying the entire time, you know, from the 234 to the 250. And, you know, it's all love, you know, yeah.
Thank you. I'm taking the water Kubaturitsa. I have some couple of questions to ask you for YC. The first question I would ask you some hours ago was your mother's birthday. First, what do you think, like some words about your mom? What would you tell us about your mother and the meaning of your mother in life? Because I saw you posted a lot of words. Tell us a little couple of words for your mom.
Yeah. This one. Yeah, thank you. That's very, very thoughtful. Today is my mom's birthday. She turns 63 today. And, you know, I lost my dad at a very, very young age. And my mother has had to play the role of both, you know, mother and father. And one of the things that really, really stands out about my mom is, you know, the support she gave me when I told her, like, you know, this is what I wanted to do. And, you know, as Africans, we all, like, I think everybody in this room understands when, you know, the dream your parents usually have for you is, you know, either you're a doctor, lawyer, engineer, banker, you know, any of these conventional careers. So when you like say, oh, mommy, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an artist, I want to be a rapper, I want to be a DJ, you know, there's a bit of hostility that comes with it. But, you know, my mom has been very, very supportive of my music career. You know, she listens to my music before, like a lot of times I send her music before it comes out. You know, I think one of the major problems she has is me swearing and saying certain words in it, but she's very, very supportive. And, you know, I wouldn't wish for anyone else to, you know, be my mother. And I say it a lot that I have the blood of my mother flowing in me because, you know, the man I am today is as a result of the upbringing I received. And, you know, she's the only woman I've ever fallen in love with that didn't break my heart. You know, so, I mean, like, my mom is everything. Like, she's the reason why I go as hard as I go. So, you know, thank you for bringing that up. I really appreciate it.
I would like first one like A and B, but it's one question, it's 2 in 1. So like last year dropped your EP called Sing Along 2 was an EP that you dropped last year. What we should expect this year? We drop another EP, single album. And the last question, Nigerian music is growing, it's going so viral. You see some artists, problematic big artists all over the world like Ed Sheeran and couple of artists who are big. You as Nigerian, did you saw it coming? And if you saw it coming, what do you expect for the coming years? And if we run this, what should we be like you are in this game of music? Thank you.
So, yeah, like I've been mentioning earlier, that right now, you know, I'm working on my second album. It's supposed to be dropping around the last quarter of this year. And, you know, with regards to the recognition and the success of Nigerian music, I feel like it's something every Nigerian artist has been working towards. So in a way, I would like to believe that, you know, we sort of saw it coming. And, you know, a big shout out to a lot of the artists that have paved the way for the success that a lot of the present artists are enjoying, you know, the likes of the Fela, King Sunny Ade, D'banj, Two-Face. These are people that, at a level when a lot of artists now that are enjoying this current international recognition, you know, when we were still like very young, these are the people that, you know, were making the music that was already crossing borders. And, you know, like I said, a lot of Nigerian artists, we move around a lot, you know, and I think that this is a habit that I want to see, you know, not just Nigerian artists, but also artists across the continent. This is a habit that, you know, everyone should engage in, because it's one thing to put out music, and it's another thing to be present on a global level as your music is progressing. You know, so a lot of the success we're enjoying now is, you know, as a result of like the early years when Whiskey first started out. You know, Whiskey will be in the UK, he will be in East Africa, other parts of Africa, you know, so with every trip you make, it's one fan gain, even if it's just one person, you know. So over the years, as long as you're putting out music, you know, you have to be present with your music as it's traveling across the borders. You know, I know the amount of opportunities that my music has created for me, even outside the field of entertainment. You know, so it just goes to show that as hard as you're working in the studio, as hard as you're working within your city, within the country you're from, you know, don't forget that the music is now at a point where your next fan that could be on the other side of the world is just one click away. So, you know, you have to be present, you have to get on the road, you have to visit, you have to take your music, just treat it like you're a pastor that's spreading the gospel. You know, you have to be out there and you have to make sure that the word is heard. So that's, you know, that's all I have to say about that. Thank you.
My name is Ivan, I work for BTHREY. My first question goes to YC. I want to ask you, when you receive the invitation to come to Rwanda, what comes in your mind for the person? The second question, allow me to ask you in Kinyarwanda. Ndashaka kubaza Gabiro na Ishkevin. Iki gitaramo Love Drunk Party ni icyanyu, ariko dusanzwe cyangwa tumaze iminsi tubabona hari imikoranire mwarabaye ambassador kabivuge gutyo b'ikinyobwa cya SKOL muri bihugu bya SKOL, ariko uyu munsi ntabwo turi kubona SKOL kubatera inkunga. Byagenze gute? habaye iki? Kubera iki bo batari? Hanyuma ikibazo cya nyuma ndakibaza umuyobozi wa Villa Portofino, ni iki nakahe gashya mufite muhamusobanurira ariko yego nakahe gashya bafite, ni iki bafite bahishiye abakunzi b'imyidagaduro kidasanzwe hano muri Yadutereranye?
I think the first thing that came to my mind when, you know, my management told me, oh, we're going to Rwanda, you know, I was like, yeah, finally, you know, about time, you know. Yeah, because like Rwanda is somewhere that I've traveled through a lot of times. Like I think when I was going to Uganda and Kenya, you know, we flew Rwanda Air, and it's like every time I'm landing, I'm like, you know, I wonder like, when am I going to visit the city? You know, when am I going to visit the city? And I mean, when the opportunity came, like, you know, shout out to KEVINE, we have a massive record that's going to be coming out next week when his EP Trappish 2 drops on the 25th. And, you know, the fact that, like, we made music together, felt like everything was falling in place at the right time. So it's one of those things where, you know, I was just like, before they told me like the specifics, I was just like, yes, you know, I'm ready, let's go, let's go, let's go. And, you know, I'm glad to be here. And like, it's been a massive thing because, like I said, it's something that I should have done a long time ago. So, you know, I'm just glad to be here right now.
Murakoze cyane. Nibyo SKOL tumaze iminsi dukorana tubafasha mu kwamamaza inzoga nshyashya Pulse, ariko bigeze kuri iyi event sinzi niba ari ikibazo cy'igihe cyaba cyarabaye cyangwa se timing itari nziza, ntabwo nzi uburyo byaba byaragenze, ariko ntabwo imikoranire yabashije kugenda neza.
ikibazo babajije ni cyiza, so ikintu nakivugaho rero, turimo turakora SKOL turakorana nyine n'ibyo, ariko ntabwo namenya ngo nyine byagenze gutyo, wenda nkazababaza nabo, ariko twifuzaga kubabona nanone bari SKOL, ni byiza kandi turacyakomeza no gukorana nabo. So ariko iri ni itangiriro, nicyo kintu navuga, ni itangiriro kandi ku bintu byose navuga natwe kuri twebwe, so navuga ngo aheza imbere niho heza tu.
Ariko mwana bakurusha.
Yego.
Tuba turi kumwe bro.
Tuba turi kumwe turakorana.
Abantu bacu nyine urumva.
Abantu dukorana. Abo wenda.
Iyo bitagenze neza ubirekera Imana ugakomeza tu.
Ariko turi navuga nabo ya twarako turana bo. Igisubizo bifiteho kiyazo.
So the first thing
we've been helping SKOL, but SKOL let down disappointed. That's what they
feel welcome. And about the question you asked, us as Portofino Hotel, you see we have enough space, so we were thinking of every month we shall be hosting local artists or DJs around this place each and every month. So we started last month, I don't know, some of you were here last month. So this one came earlier than we had planned. So it's a plus for us. So you are always welcome to Portofino. Everything is working now. Swimming pool is there. Restaurants working. You can have barbecue anytime. Thanks so much. Welcome.
Ikibazo cyane kibaza ni ari kuri BTHREY. Hari mbere yuko musohora afishe ya Love and Drunk, hari nyuma yo kuyisohora umuhanzi NEG yagaragaje ko atishimiye line-up igomba guperforma kuri iyo gatandatu. Hanyuma avuga yuko aramutse anahegereye cyangwa akamutiza bombe yayihashye. Hanyuma ese n'ubwo iki mwashyizemo abatrapish gusa mushyiremo abandi baraperi kandi abo bumva ko ari abaraperi, icyo kintu cyamurakaje.
Murakoze cyane. Murakoze cyane. Ni ukuvuga ngo niba ari pati nk'iyi nk'uko mwabibonye, abantu bose bari on board ni nka family, ni abantu n'ubundi dusanzwe ni family ni family. Rero icyo gihe iyo ugiye gukora ntuze pati ntabwo wafodinga abantu mudasanzwe muhuza mu bikorwa, wafodinga abantu bari bukorohere kubona, abantu bari around yawe, bari abantu rero nibo banzengurutse, abantu bari kuri iriya line-up nibo bantu banzengurutse, kandi ntabwo abantu bari kuri line-up ari twebwe gusa cyangwa Trappish gusa yabahisemo, harimo abahanzi bandi benshi cyane batari aba Trappish. Rero kuba atarisanzemo azisanga muri butaha Ushaka.
Asubije Trappish kusirimo ariko rakinya Trappish. Yeah, BTHREY ntabwo ari muri Trappish. So Kivumbi ntabwo ari muri Trappish. Konfi ntabwo ari. Konfi ntabwo ari. So rero ntabwo ari Trappish yonyine, ubwo konseri yateguwe na Trappish na Evolve Music, kandi abari bose ntabwo ari abo muri Noza gusa muri izo rero cyangwa muri iyo music.
Thank you. I'm Read from the New Times. I'd like to ask one, why did you name this party Love Drunk Party? That one. And the second question, I'd like to address it to YC. We've seen several Nigerian artists or other international artists coming to Rwanda, and they just come and live. You mentioned that we have Rwanda with KEVINE, which is so nice. We'd like to ask whether you plan to have some other partnership or some other collabo songs with other artists. Like to your right side, there is Yadutereranye. There are some other artists in Rwanda. Do you plan on doing some further project with them, or just this party and next time? That's what it is. Apart from Yadutereranye or the artists in the pop music and in rubbish, who are the other artists in Rwanda that you know about? And if you have like any idea of their song, could you please mention?
So yeah, you know, I think this is, a lot of people have been asking me these questions, but you know, big shout out to KEVINE, big shout out to Gabiro. We actually have, you know, set up a studio here at the Portofino, so we've actually been vibing. And you know, last night, like, I got to meet some of the other artists that are on the lineup, Logan Joe, you know, and is it Kivumbi, you know, and even this afternoon, what's the artist I saw on your phone? Kenny K. Show, yo. You know, shout out to him. Like, I saw his new video, you know, it's crazy. And I mean, it's not even just like the artists, the producers as well. You know, take a beat, but make a baby. You know, so yeah, I'm tuned in. You know, I'm just trying to like see what the sound in Rwanda is like. You know, make some music for myself, collaborate with the artists as well out here, because you know I'm still here till next week. You know, so yeah, it's not just that. You know, I just came for the event. I'm leaving. You know, Fremont, there might be plans that will extend our ticket. Fremont. Shout out to Fremont, you know, so I mean, yeah, I'm just like, I'm trying to just tap into, you know, the Rwandan scene as well, and just see, you know, what the vibe is like out here. And, you know, I just want to give props to a lot of the guys that are doing their thing right now, because, you know, I'm made to understand that a lot of these young guys are doing this all by themselves with very little to no support. And it's going a long way. So just imagine what's going to happen when they're able to have, like, you know, the right financial support, the right marketing support, and, you know, spread beyond Rwanda. So, you know, like, please, 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 everyone that's, you know, having a chance to watch this, if you have the means to, you know, support these guys and give them the necessary boost, it will benefit the entire Rwandan populace at the end of the day. You know, so it's going to be a situation when they're mentioning like the South Africans, the Ghanaians, the Nigerians. You know, Rwanda should be very much in the conversation. You know, so yeah.
Ikibazo warubaje cyiza nakisubiza mu kinyarwanda nta kibazo. Ni nabyiza ko ukibashije. So mbere twaricaye n'ubundi sinzi niba mwanabibonye twahinduye izina byabanje kugira, ariko impamvu handitse Love Drunk Party nuko ari EPA yasohoye. So you also need ko nyine na music ye na gahunda ze bihuriramo kandi so it's spiritual, it's mutual, ni feelings nanjye ntabwo sibyo. So rero iri zina ku bantu bari kutwumva n'abari hanze, iri ni izina rijyanye bagende ba streaming iyi
latest EP,
niyo latest EP kandi ari gukora music iri top. Jewe twicaranye nawe mo harabe imbere kuko tumaranye igihe kinini, yasabye studio yakigera hano, we yatwumvishe beat zirenga nk'ijana
zirenga 100
kandi we ukuvuga ngo zirenga sibyo. So rero ikintu navuga, so natwe iyo turi muri business gutya we are networking, so it's spiritual, no muri spiritual cyane kandi no muntu ufata music nk'ibintu biri serious. So rero yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Adaciye. I work for NEG. The first one,